Okay, guys, welcome back. Let me get my hair out of my face. Let me go ahead, move my head really quickly so you can kind of see the area before we go ahead and get into this. This is going to be the new background, the new backdrop for at least the next 2 or so months. Anyway, I tried to do this yesterday and I ran into some issues, had some problems with all of that. I edited one video before I had all the other videos done, so it sliced off a bit of that video and put in the ending title, and so I lost a little bit of footage from the first video. Then I lost about half the footage from the other videos. Anyway, so we're going to quickly turn that off and go into here. Yeah. So, yeah, this is my way too early predictions for the entire NFL season of 2021-2022. Week 1 is going to be really good. Guys, week 1 is going to be really good. We're going to go through each and every week based on week-by-week basis. Also, the last one I did like team by team, which is not how I normally do it, so that's why I'm coming back, going through this over again, and we're just going to pick it week by week and go through the playoff and everything like that later. So I think the Bills are going to beat the Steelers. Chiefs obviously should be able to beat the Browns early season. I peg the Dolphins as improving, but I also peg the Patriots as improving. This is going to be a good game. Jaguars Texans. I'll give the Jags this win. Like I will say over and over again in the NFL videos for next season, the Texans did not do themselves any favors, cutting a lot of their best players and really pissing off the only quarterback that's ever gotten them anywhere. The Ravens-Raiders game, that one I'm going to come back to. Bengals-Vikings. Bengals didn't do anything to address their offensive line situation. I still think they're going to be bottom of the barrel this season. I'm going to give that one to the Vikings. Seahawks, Colts. Seahawks are pretty good. They're a decent team, but I got to give this one to the Colts. Seahawks will do well this season, but they're not going to beat the Colts here. Chargers will beat the football team. Broncos, your fans, it doesn't matter. Your fans are going to be happy with this game. I think you're going to blow out the Giants, truthfully. This is the type of thing that would be an upset for the Panthers, but they generally play well in their first game. They're not like the Saints where they piss off a bunch of their fans by losing the first game of the season every year. Just in case you didn't know, that's what they do. So, yeah, I'll give this one to the Panthers. Titans, I say, would probably easily beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals did address a lot of issues, but, yeah. The Bucs are going to start it off with a serious test. They're going to start it off against the Cowboys. Dak Prescott coming back. I think they actually have a shot at winning this, so I'm going to come back to this one. Eagles, Falcons. I will give this one to the Eagles. Falcons fans, you know why. You didn't address hardly any of the issues that you had. You pulled the same bull crap as the Saints in the draft. You really didn't address any of your issues in that, and it's very deeply saddening. Lions, 49ers. I got to give this one to the 49ers. If there is any team this season that's going to go 0-16 or 0-17, that's right. We have 18 weeks this season. It would be the Lions. They really They had everything last season. They had so much to build off of. They had Kenny Golladay. They had a decent quarterback. All they needed was an offensive line to go deep. And I will say it, deep into the playoffs. But instead, they get rid of their quarterback for one that really hasn't proved himself as of late. They get rid of Kenny Golladay, who, again, one of the best in the league. And it's Rams will beat the Bears. That should not be a question. And again, this shouldn't be a question. Again, this is also assuming that Aaron Rodgers is going to be back with the Packers next year. They're going to beat the Saints. I'm a Saints fan. We are going to seriously regress this season. We're going to start off with a loss, like usual. Not only do we normally play bad in the first season, but on top of that, we're getting a whole feel for it. By the way, guys, this is my way too early pick. So this is in June. No, it's not June yet. This is in May. In August, I'm so happy. I'm going to be going to the Saints preseason game with Jacksonville, which should be fun. Browns will beat the Texans. Bills will beat the Dolphins. I'll give the Jags this one. I will give the Jags that game over the Broncos. They addressed their huge issues with quarterbacks. And I think, see, a lot of people hate Tim Tebow coming back. I don't think he was that bad. So I think the Jaguars are going to seriously benefit from having Tim Tebow. And they start off their schedule pretty easy. Patriots will beat the Jets. The Jets, you really did not work out well. You get rid of Sam Darnold for another quarterback, and you don't address any of your offensive line deficiencies, and your defense is still as holy as ever. Okay, guys, I'm back. So, we're going to continue with week 2. Sorry, again, I only have so much privacy around here. Anyway, Chiefs-Ravens, this would be the type of game that the Chiefs would lose. I will give this one to the Chiefs. Raiders-Steelers. Steelers going to win that one. It's going to be a good one. That one would be one that I would want to go to, is the Raiders-Steelers. But I'm going to give that one to the Steelers. Partially because I like the Steelers more than the Raiders. Partially because the Steelers have a lot of returning parts from last season, and they did really well last season. Bears, Bangles. These two are on a comparable level. That's where I would put the Bengals this season, on a similar level to the Bears. Keep in mind the Bears also made the playoffs last year and gave the Saints a fit, so I guess that just shows how much of the Saints schedule came down to luck over the last couple of years. Let me give this one to the Bears. Cowboys, Chargers, no doubt. Did I already do all of the stuff? No, I didn't. Oh. You know what? Bucks always piss away a game early in the season. I'll give this one to the Cowboys. And Patriots, Dolphins. I'll give this one to the Fins. I'll give it to the Fins. Raiders, Ravens. This is the type of thing where the Raiders are a good team, but they could lose to the Ravens. I'll give this one to the Raiders. That one's a close game. I call that one a close game. That starts off the Ravens 0-2, though, on my list. Watch them go 2-0 and just make me feel very sorry. Actually, I'm going to change this. I'm very high on the Chargers this year. The Chargers, I think, are going to do very well, but they're just not as good as the Cowboys, especially if Dak stays healthy this season. The Chargers aren't going to be able to stop that offense. Rams, Colts. This one could go either way. I'll give it to the Colts. Titans, Seahawks. Again, another thing that could go either way. These games are really good in week 2. I will give this one to the Seahawks for the only reason that it's in Seattle and their fans are ridiculous. Their fans are crazy. Football team will beat New York, the Giants. Screw that. I'm calling them the Redskins. The Redskins will beat New York. They will beat the Giants. Falcons, Bucks. These are always close. Buccaneers will win now. Cardinals, Vikings. Got to give it to the Vikings. Again, Cardinals fans, you just didn't. You were lackluster. You were just like the Saints. You were really lackluster in your picks. But yeah, Eagles will beat the 49ers. I'm calling it. Saints will beat the Panthers, and Packers will beat the Lions. There's no way the Packers are losing to the Lions. Sorry. Last season, maybe. Last season, you also had a really, I would say, a much better quarterback who gave his life to your organization, and Kenny Galladay. You have neither now. You're not beating the Packers. Broncos, Jets. Again, this could go either way. I got to give it to the Broncos, though, because they're at home. Chiefs will beat the Chargers, which actually puts the Chargers in a position where they're 1-2. The Fins and the Raiders, I will give this one to the... You know what? This one could go either way. I know the Dolphins kind of fell apart at the end of last season, so I'm going to give this one to the Raiders. Steelers, Bengals. I feel like this one would be one that the Steelers could lose, but I don't think they will. And Titans, Colts, close, but Titans will win. Panthers will beat the Texans. Let's see here. Bills will beat the football team. They should beat Washington anyway. If they lose to Washington, it kind of sets the whole one-shot wonder type of deal for Josh Allen, which does not bode well for next season or the seasons following. Browns. Is this going to be their first win? No, it's going to be their second win. They're going to beat the Bears. Jags, Cardinals. Do I want to give the Jags that much? I'm gonna say that the Cardinals are going to win here. Cardinals are I think are going to win here. Ravens, Lions. Give that one to the Ravens. Again, Lions fans, you're not getting any pity from me. Certainly not in my rankings because you're garbage. No, not you personally, but your team is garbage. Saints go on the road to Foxborough. They've always struggled against the Patriots. This year, it's not going to happen. They're not going to struggle against this Patriots team. Their defense is broken down. Their offense is really, really weak. The Saints will prevail in that game. Packers will go on the road. This is a game they could lose because Packers generally do not play well against terrible teams. They're kind of just like the Saints. If they're going to lose a game, it would be to a terrible team. Especially being on the road, they're used to playing in the cold. They're not used to playing in the territory of the 49ers. I will give this one to the 49ers, which kind of sets the tone for Green Bay. They really need to, if they do win this, it will set a tone of dominance for Green Bay that they really, really need for this season going forward. Falcons will beat the Giants. Bucks will beat the Rams. Seahawks and Vikings, and Eagles and Cowboys. Those are both going to be close games. I think the Cowboys will beat the Eagles, and I think the Seahawks will beat the Vikings. Cowboys are a good team, and I'm not going to deny them that. They are a good team, and I think they're going to do very well. Let's see here. Jaguars, Bangles. This is a game where the Bengals could win and snap that losing streak, and I think they will. This game as a whole is kind of the thing that will make a change for the Jaguars season. They're going to lose to the Bengals. Bills will continue their winning ways and destroy the Texans. Broncos will drop this game to the Ravens. You're not there yet, Broncos. Keep building up that defense, and in the next couple of years, you may be on the status of the Ravens or the Chiefs. Maybe. I don't think the Chiefs. You're not going to be that good, but maybe the Ravens. Dolphins, Colts. Again, the Dolphins really have a struggle fest to start off this season. I will give it to them. I will give it to them because it's in Miami. That is the only reason I'm giving it to them. The Titans, they generally do drop a game or two early in the season, but I'm gonna give that one to them. I don't think the woes of the past is what's going to go on to destroy them now. Raiders will drop that game to the Chargers. That puts the Raiders at 2-2, Chargers at 2-2, and Broncos at 2-2. So already we're seeing a massive break apart from all of these teams compared to the Chiefs, which is what we normally see. They're going to go on the road against the Eagles. They're going to destroy the Eagles. The Steelers will lose to the Packers. Sorry. I love the Steelers. They are my AFC team. They are amazing, but they will lose to the Packers. Buccaneers will beat the Patriots. And Browns will beat the Vikings. Again, I think the Browns are going to be very, very good this season. I think the Vikings are also going to be very mediocre this season, like they normally are. Which kind of will set the stage and show for everything that's going to happen. Now we're going to get into the NFC for Week 4, where the Seahawks will reign supreme over the 49ers on the road. Bears will reign supreme over the Lions. Again, the Lions generally struggle in their division, and they barely were able to keep it close against the Bears last season. So Lions will lose again, going 0-4 for not even close to the first time either. Cowboys Panthers. I'm going to give this one to the Cowboys because it's in Dallas. They are a good team. Football team will beat the Falcons. Rams, I can see them beating the Cardinals. And we should take control and take care of the Giants. So, a quarter way through the 2021 NFL season, the playoff picture looks like this. Green Bay's looking at number 3 at 3-1. Buccaneers are looking at number 4 at 3-1. So are the Saints. Cowboys at 4-0. That's going to change. Football team at 2-2. And Eagles at 2-2. And number 2, Seahawks at 3-1. Again, do I think that 3 of these guys are going to be in the playoffs? No, I don't. It's just not going to happen. However, I do think at the quarter point of this season that they will be this way. So, Bengals, as usual, starts it off terribly. Ravens at 2-2 starts it off decently. Steelers at 2-2 starts it off relatively well. Browns at 3-1 really starting to shine. They are finally starting to get into the stride. They're starting to strive for success, I would say. The Titans and surprisingly, the Jaguars at 2-2 are in the playoff picture a quarter through next season in my prediction. Texans, just not good. Just not good. I'm sorry. Texans fans, you've sucked since the inception of your team. I'm sorry. Jets, 0-4. That's not going to stop. I mean, I'm sorry, Jets. You're just going to be the brunt of jokes. Just like the Bangles were for a while. And the Broncos, Raiders, and Chargers at 2-2 are really going to have to fight hard if they want to get into the playoffs, because they're not winning that division. They will be playing on Wild Card Weekend. Chargers will beat the Browns. That's going to really help them out, going 3-2 to solidify themselves as contenders. This is a good one. I'll come back to this. Titans. I'm not gonna be that optimistic for the Jaguars. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose here. Steelers will beat the Broncos. Again, Broncos fans, don't get cocky. Your team is not that good. Patriots, Texans. I will give the Texans their first win of the season. They're going to beat the Patriots. If we go down here, Patriots are 1-4. They are not starting off this season very good, and it's just going to continue to go like crap. Bill Belichick literally built up the entirety of his team on Tom Brady. And pretty much his defense fell apart afterwards. His offense, a lot of the guys that made his offense keen fell apart. They barely have a number one receiver. It's not looking good up there in Foxborough. He's going to struggle most likely until he retires or until he's fired. Ravens, Colts. Let's see where the Colts are. Where are the Colts? Colts are not playing for championship aspirations here. I'm going to give this one to the Colts, or to the Ravens, because they are really playing in a hard division this year. This division, the AFC North, is going to be a hard division. And I feel bad for the Bengals. I feel like they're going to progress. However, they still have not addressed their offensive line. The Packers are going to destroy them. The Packers at 4-1, at the top of the food chain at number 2 thus far in the NFC. Buccaneers will beat the Dolphins. Again, Bucs are pretty good. The Falcons would be the one team that the Jets could actually beat, I feel. At least for this season, and I will give it to them just to be nice to Jets fans, because I know you don't get a lot of support because your team is just absolute garbage. It's hot garbage. Raiders, Bears. I'll give this one to the Raiders. Seahawks will beat the Rams at home. 49ers will lose to the Cardinals at home. Cowboys will beat the Giants at home. My Saints will go on the road to Washington and take down the football team. Eagles, Panthers. I'll give this one to the Panthers. At home, I feel like they could take care of the Eagles. I'm going to give this game to the Lions. I do not like the Lions this season. However, that game against the Vikings, I feel like they have a very big opportunity at victory. This game is a lot less close than I was thinking it would be because I skipped over it earlier. But the Chiefs are going to beat the Bills. They're going to be the first team to beat the Bills because it's in Chief territory, and the Chiefs absolutely demolished them in the last game that they played together. That puts us in week 6. Week 6. Raiders will drop this game to the Broncos, actually. I do believe that the Broncos are a much improved team from last season, and I also believe that the Raiders are not good on the road because they're not. They're just not good on the road, and that becomes their biggest crutch this season. Texans, you're back on the losing streak going into Indianapolis to get destroyed by the Colts. Dolphins are going to go into the Jaguars' home and go 3-3. Ravens, Chargers, I will give this one to the Ravens. I will have to give that one to the Ravens. And the Bills are a much better team than the Titans. I will give this one to the Bills. So, yeah. Bills are a good team. Titans are really struggling this season, or not really. They're not really struggling this season. They're still top of their division after this game. However, they're just not. They need to take that step to become a top tier team. They're like the Saints right now. They're kind of in limbo. Browns, Cardinals. Browns will win that game. Chiefs destroys the football team. Bengals and Lions. I'm going to give this one to the Bengals. Lions fans, you know why. The Bengals have massively improved, and you have not done anything to improve your team. You have a handful of picks for next season, and that is it. That is all you got for a really good quarterback and Kenny Golladay. I mean, I cannot stress this enough. You got rid of Matthew Stafford and Kenny Golladay. You've gotten barely anything out of that. Patriots will rebound. I find that they will beat the Cowboys in Foxborough, and the Seahawks will drop that game to the Steelers in Pittsburgh. So, Eagles, Bucks, I will give this one to the Bucks. They will go on the road. So will the Packers. They will go on the road. Actually, this is one of those games that could be a trap game for the Packers. I'm gonna give this one to the Bears. Actually, Packers will go 4-2 with that loss to the Bears. Rams will go on the road, beat the Giants. Vikings will go on the road and lose to the Panthers. Again, I'm a Saints fan. I don't like the Panthers, but they will beat the Vikings. Browns will beat the Broncos. Again, Broncos fans, you shouldn't get cocky because of the early season. It's not going to stay that way. You will fall back to earth. Patriots, Jets coming off of a bye. Jets fans, you will also go nowhere. You will lose to the Patriots again. Again. Ravens, Bengals. Bengals will win that. Ravens will win that. Chiefs will beat the Titans. I do find that the Chiefs are much better than the Titans. Colts will drop that game to the 49ers. Colts fans, get real. The 49ers coming off of a bye at home, they're going to beat you. Cardinals, I find that they will beat the Texans here. Texans fans, you do not get any happiness from any of your team, it seems like, much less me. So Falcons coming off a bye week will drop that game to the Dolphins. Eagles and Raiders. Raiders will win that, meaning AFC, NFC, home team sweep for that. NFC. Bears will drop that game to the Buccaneers, as they are. Normally, they suck. Panthers will, I think they will drop this game to the Giants. Daniel Jones, this is a put up or shut up year for him. He has to show that his team, the Giants, can be a contender. They won't be, and they aren't. However, he must try to show as if they are. Also, the Cowboys are really the only team in the NFC East that are worth a damn this season. Sorry, but the football team got rid of had their main guy, their main quarterback that helped them to the playoffs last season, retire, and he's going to their team is going to really struggle. Yada yada yada. Packers beat the football team. Rams beat the Lions. Seahawks. New Orleans Saints. I'll give this one to the Saints because we're coming off of our bye. It is a really good opportunity for us to win here and put away doubt. I will say we will lose a couple more games this season. Bills will come off their bye week and beat the Dolphins, giving them a little bit more courage going into the rest of the season. Steelers, coming off of their bye week, will lose a game against the Browns, putting the Steelers at 4-3. Chargers take on Patriots, coming off their bye week at home. Chargers will win that game. I feel like the Chargers are good, that the Patriots still will struggle this season, like they did last season. Titans, Colts. Neither of these teams are coming off of a bye, so there's no fatigue or no true issue with that at all. I will give this one to the Titans. So Titans at 5-3 have a significant hold on the NFC South. Bangles will go into Jets territory. This is the only team this time that I feel that they actually have an opportunity of losing. Bengals will beat the Jets here, though. They will hold off the Jets, meaning that the Bengals are 3-5 and still have hopes of their hopes are slowly fading, but they do have hopes of making it into the playoffs. Broncos I think the Broncos could beat the football team. And I think they will, actually. I just hit my microphone. Jags, coming off their bye week, going into Seattle. Seattle's going to be looking for a sort of pick-me-up game, and that's just what they need is a game against the Jaguars as a pick-me-up. Jaguars starting it off 2-5, not very good at all, but they're the Jaguars. In one season, you can't really expect them to be that great. Rams will get upset by the Texans. Sorry. Giants will not upset the Chiefs. Okay, so now we got the NFC. Cardinals always are a source of struggle for the Packers, but I will give this one to the Packers. 49ers play the Bears. I will give this one to the Bears. Falcons play the Panthers. Give this one to the Falcons. Neither of these teams are very good. Neither of these teams did many favors for themselves this season. Eagles will go on the road and beat the Lions. Bucks will beat the Saints. And both of these teams coming off of bye weeks. Vikings will beat the Cowboys. Coming off of a bye week, the Vikings really want to prove something. So, midway point of the season, let's go ahead and take another look at our playoff picture. Steelers, 4-3, making it to the playoffs at number 6. Ravens making 4-3, not 4-6. They are number 6. Ravens at number 5 at 5-2. And Browns at 6-2. They are doing very well in the AFC. Titans 5-3, really good record for the Titans. It's all about the end of the year for the Titans. So we know last season they were doing really good, and then they just fell apart later on in the season. And I don't remember if they made it to the playoffs. I think they might have. I think they did make it to the playoffs. They didn't go far. Bills at 6-1, where they're supposed to be, at the top of the AFC East. And surprise, there's no bounce back. I do not think there's going to be a bounce back for La Groupe de Belichick. Belichick is not a good coach. I'm sorry, it's just he makes bad decisions whenever he has an opportunity to do so. Chiefs at 8-0. No one is going to deny the Chiefs. They are still in line, and the Bills are still in line if the Chiefs can lose a game for their championship aspirations. 6-2 Packers, which is surprising. Bears, even more surprisingly, if it ended midway through the season, would be in the playoffs at 4-4. Buccaneers at 7-1, and the Saints at 5-2. Again, the Saints just have an easy schedule this season. Our team is not particularly good at all. Buccaneers are pretty dang good, though. They kept everybody from last season. Cowboys at 5-2, really the only ones in the AFC East that have any chance of going to the Super Bowl, even though we all know they won't. Seahawks at 5-3, and Rams at 4-4. Both will make the playoffs if this were to end at this time period, which it's not. So Colts beat the Jets. Sorry, Jets fans. Bengals and Browns. I will give this one to the Bengals. I think the Bengals will do good past the midway point of the season. They are finally starting to click. Jamar Chase, and hopefully by this time Joe Burrow will be back. But they really need an offensive line that can play worth a damn to really be a good contender. Dolphins Texans. I'll give this one to the Dolphins. Dolphins fans, you are a good team. You just need a little bit of help. You need a little bit more structure. Jags, Bills. I will give this one to the Bills. They are playing for a spot at number 1 if the Chiefs take an L. And this is where the Chiefs are going to take an L. They're going to play the best team single-handedly, I find, this season. The best team in the NFC. They're going to play the Packers, and they're going to lose to the Packers. Because during the regular season, the Chiefs really, really struggle against top-notch competition. Cowboys will go on the road and beat the Broncos. Even though this could be one of those games where the Cowboys do lose, I will give this one to them. Eagles, Chargers, Chargers, Eagles, Chargers, Eagles, Chargers, Chargers. Chargers will win that game, putting them at 5-3 and still in the playoff race. Raiders coming off a bye, going into New York. Got to give that one to the Raiders. The Raiders at 5-3, also knocking on the door at the playoffs. In Week 9, Panthers will beat the Patriots. I will give the Panthers that win. Rams, Titans. Titans. I will give the Titans that victory. Good job for the Titans. Ravens coming off of a bye at home against Vikings. Ravens easily will win that one. Seahawks or Bears. Steelers. Steelers have an easily much better team than the Bears do. And the only two NFC games, Cardinals, 49ers. 49ers will win that one. So Saints, Falcons. This is a game that the Falcons actually have a really big opportunity at winning. I will give it to the Saints though, because the Falcons have we've struggled at home against the Falcons, but I will give this one to them. Or I will give this one to us. That may not be that way for a long time though. Ravens, Dolphins. Dolphins will beat the Ravens. I feel it. I feel it in my bones that the Ravens will lose to the Dolphins here. Putting them at 6-3. Colts, Jags. Colts will beat the Jags because the Jags are still, trash. Jets will lose to the Bills. They still have a terrible offensive line. Still one of the worst teams in the NFL. And just overall not that great. Patriots and Browns. The Patriots are long since an opportunity at a championship. The Browns are fighting for an opportunity to be in the playoff race. However, this is where they get knocked down a notch. They're going to lose against the Patriots. This is where the Chiefs will lose also. Chiefs will head into Raiderville, and they will take that L, putting them at 8-2. Who did they lose against? Okay. Broncos will, at home, beat the Eagles. And Broncos fans, at 5-5, you have a much better you have a much better opportunity than you had in years past. Chargers will beat the Vikings. Lions coming off of a bye. Doesn't really matter much. They're going to lose to the Steelers anyway. And Titans will beat the Saints at home. The Titans are really good, and the Saints really need to rebuild this season. Titans will beat the Saints. So let's get into the NFC games. Panthers, Cardinals. Cardinals will beat the Panthers at home. Cowboys will beat the Falcons. The football team and the Buccaneers both coming off byes. Buccaneers will beat the football team. If any team is going to beat the Green Bay Packers this season, it's going to be the Seahawks, especially whenever they're coming off of a bye. They're going into Green Bay. Green Bay is going to overlook the Seahawks, and they're going to lose to them. 49ers will lose to the Rams. Again, 49ers fans, your team is just not that good. I'm sorry. Your team has never been that great, though. Week 11. Bills should do easy work on the Colts. This one, in years past, would have been a no-brainer for the Steelers, but this season it's not a no-brainer necessarily. I'm going to go with the Steelers, but it's not a no-brainer. This puts the Steelers at number 1 in the North. which is pretty good. Pretty good. Dolphins will beat the Jets. Again, Jets fans, your team did nothing to help itself at all. Okay, Bengals coming off. I think the Raiders are kind of going to overlook the Bengals, and I do think the Bengals are going to win that game, putting them at 5-5. On the outside looking in as it relates to the playoffs. Texans coming off of a bye. They're going to go into Titans territory. They're going to lose. Next up, Patriots Falcons. Falcons fans, rejoice because your season will not have much of this. You're going to win. Bears coming off of a bye at home, playing against the Ravens. This is a game that the Bears can win. Browns will beat the Lions. Again, Lions fans, I am deeply, deeply sorry. Your team will be one of the worst in the NFL this season. I'm sorry. I really am sorry in this case. Like, your team just took every opportunity that it had and pissed it out the door. Anywho, Chiefs will beat the Cowboys. There is no doubt in my mind that the Chiefs will beat the Cowboys. Jags, 49ers. This is much closer than I thought it was whenever I recorded yesterday. I'm going to give this one to the Jags. Jags win their third game on the season. And the 49ers not playing all that great. Saints will go into the Eagles' homeland up there in Philadelphia, and they're going to beat them again. Again, Eagles nowhere close. Panthers football team. Football team will drop that game to the Panthers. No, this is actually much closer than I think it will be. But Seahawks will beat the Cardinals. Packers. The Pack and Bucks. Bengals will drop that game to the Steelers. Broncos coming off the bye will upset the Chargers. And let's continue on with this. Titans will beat the Patriots. Ravens will be at home. They will beat the Browns, which doesn't bode well for either of them. Texans will win this game against the Jets, but Texans fans really do not have much to be happy about either. Cowboys fans, you're gonna be very sad here. You're gonna lose to the Raiders at home. Bills will beat the Saints in the Dome. We are historically terrible in the Dome. Sorry, just the way it goes. Colts, I find at home, will beat the Buccaneers. You will take another loss, the same as the Saints are, showing that you are not immortal. Dolphins, Panthers, Dolphins. Dolphins will win that game. Jaguars will beat the Falcons, which means Panthers and Falcons, just like everyone else in the NFC South this week, you have taken losses and will not get anywhere close to the playoffs. Lions, Bears. Lions. Lions, I will give them the victory over the Bears this week because the Bears just generally are not that great and they play terribly against northern teams. 49ers, Vikings. Vikings will beat the 49ers, getting them ever so close to the playoffs. Giants, I will give the Giants, if we go down here, I will give the Giants a victory over the Eagles. Packers will beat the Rams. Seahawks will go into Washington and dismantle the football team. So, playoff picture: Steelers, Ravens, Titans, Bills, Dolphins. Yes, Dolphins. Chiefs, Raiders. For the AFC. For the NFC, Packers, Bears, Bucks, Saints, Cowboys, Seahawks, Rams. Okay. Chargers, Bengals. At home, Bengals. Bengals. Yes, Bengals. Bengals will win. Chiefs, coming off of their bye, will dismantle the Broncos. Again, Broncos fans, I'm sorry in advance for the ass whooping you will take at the hands of the Broncos. Although this division is getting very, very close. Steelers will beat the Ravens. Texans will drop that game to the Colts. Bills will beat the Patriots. Dolphins will beat the Giants. Again, the Dolphins keeping this division on its toes over here. Jets, Eagles. Raiders versus the football team. Raiders will win at home. Jags versus Rams. Rams will win at home. Cowboys will... I'll actually give the Cowboys this one. Saints are not the same team that we once were. Saints will lose this game. Yeah. So, Cardinals, Bears. Cardinals, I'm going to give this one to the Bears. Bucks, Falcons. At home, I got to give this one to the Falcons. Vikings, Lions. Lions will win this game. They suck at tanking. Seahawks will also win. 14. Browns will beat the Ravens, keep themselves in the playoff hunt. Chiefs will beat the Raiders. Again, trying to win, hoping for a Bills loss to some team. Titans, coming off of their bye, will dismantle the Jaguars, who are doing much better than last season, but not by a wide margin by any means. Steelers, Vikings. Do I need to explain more? Bengals, I feel, will be better than the 49ers this season. The 49ers are really bad. They just are really bad. Broncos, Lions. Broncos fans, you have a lot to be happy about compared to where you once were. At 7-6, you're over 500. Oops. Buccaneers, Bills. Bucks will take 2 losses in a row, dropping to 9-4. Chargers will beat the Giants. Saints will beat the Jets. And Seahawks will beat the Texans. A lot of these games down here at the bottom aren't hard. This one is close. Football team will beat the Cowboys, putting them at 8-5. They can't have a losing schedule this season, which is great for Cowboys fans. That is. Panthers. They're not competing for the they're not competing for any type of first place or anything like that. They're going to be number 4. So by this point in the season, 4-9, 2-11. they're probably just going to coast. This is a point where they have 17 games. However, this does not do any justice for them. With 9 losses already, they can only win 6 games. No, wait. 8 games. They can win 8 games. So there's a possibility, but not really. Cardinals will beat the Rams. I find that to be true, that the Rams are not that great. Although, again, with that trade, they could do really well. I'm not sure. Chiefs, Chargers, this will officially knock the Chiefs kind of out of that area because I think the Chargers will beat them. Bengals, Broncos. Broncos fans, you're not going to be happy with this, but Bengals are just fighting for an opportunity at the playoffs. So, you're going to lose. Browns, Raiders, Browns will snuff out every opportunity that they can for the Bengals. Colts coming off a bye against the Patriots, who are coming off a bye. Patriots will lose. Dolphins coming off of a bye will beat the Jets. Jets fans, you're 1-13. It hurts. It genuinely hurts. Texans, Jags over there in Duval. Y'all have some stuff to be happy about this season. Y'all have some stuff to be happy about. Y'all have 5 wins to be happy about. Steelers, Titans. I'm giving one to the Steelers. Okay, Bills will beat the Panthers. Ravens will beat the Packers. Packers 10-4. Pretty good. Saints will drop that game to the Buccaneers. I do not find that the Saints are all that impressive this season. 49ers will beat the Falcons. Eagles, coming off of a bye at home, will beat the football team. Cowboys will lose this game to the Giants, as they always do. They always lose games like that, especially whenever they have no chance of really doing anything much better this season. They're almost going to be playing with a half-assed type of view. Lions, Cardinals, Lions, Lions. Cardinals. Cardinals will beat the Lions again. Lions fans, you're not going to do good this season. It's just not going to happen. Rams will beat the Seahawks here. And Bears will beat the Vikings. So, week 15, a couple of upsets, but nothing too ridiculous, I would say. Ravens, Bengals. Ravens will beat the Bengals. Bengals are not yet ready for the Ravens. Chiefs will beat the Steelers. Chiefs are still one of the best in the league. Bills will drop that game to the Patriots. Jaguars will beat the Jets. Raiders will beat the Broncos. And Chargers will beat the Texans, putting the Chargers at 9-6. Raiders at 9-6 and Broncos at 7-8. Titans will beat the 49ers. Cardinals will lose this game to the Colts. The Pack will beat the Browns. And we will go down there to Miami and destroy the Dolphins. Again, Saints are still a competitor. Don't doubt it. Washington football team going into Cowboys. Again, I feel bad for Cowboys fans. I feel bad for the NFC East as a whole. Their teams have just been terrible. But football team will beat the Cowboys. Cowboys going 8-7. Eagles, Giants. Eagles will win, putting the Eagles at 6-9. And that means that the Eagles still have an opportunity to be top dog. However, all the rest of them were gone, long gone. Falcons will beat the Lions. Sorry, Lions fans, you're just not that good. Bucks, Panthers. Bucks will beat the Panthers. Seahawks will beat the Bears. Vikings will beat the Rams. Chiefs will beat the Bengals. Chargers, Broncos, Raiders will drop that game to the Colts. Jags will lose to the Patriots. Titans has a very big opportunity to lose to the Dolphins. But I will give the Titans this courtesy. Titans fans, you're going to beat the Dolphins. Steelers, Browns. This is a game where the Browns, if they win, they're nowhere closer to the playoffs. But if they lose, they're completely gone. I will give this one to the Steelers because they're at home. That's generally how these things work. 49ers, Texans. I will give this one to the 49ers. Bills will beat the Falcons. You know what? I'm not going to do that. The Bills will... Yeah, I'll give the Bills that. Buccaneers will beat the Jets. Ravens will beat the Rams. Bears will beat the Giants. Cowboys will beat the Cardinals, not lose. They will beat the Cardinals, which means they will clinch their division, finally. And thus, they will sit out their players for the next game. Eagles will win because if we look at this one, this is Saturday at 3. So these two teams are still going to be playing their hardest until the Cowboys beat the Cardinals. Packers will beat the Vikings. And that being said, number 1 is the Buccaneers. Number 2 is the Packers. They are still battling for number 1. Saints will beat the Panthers. Seahawks will beat the Lions at home. Seahawks 12-4, Buccaneers 12-4, Packers 12-4. All three of them are vying for the number 1 seed. Okay, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, guys, so we're getting back in here. This is the final week 18. Yeah. Bills now have officially claimed the first seed. They're going to sit their players and probably still beat the Jets. But I'll give it to the Jets just for the Jets' sake. Chiefs will still play and they will win. Oh, wait. No. Both of these games are on Sunday, right? Yeah, Sunday, 3 p.m. and 3 p.m. Yeah, the Bills and the Jets the Bills will win against the Jets. The Chiefs will win going 14-3. Both of these teams, the Bills will be 15-2. Chiefs at 14-3. Browns are not fighting for championship aspirations. They're not even fighting for an opportunity to play in the playoffs. So I will go ahead and say that the Bengals will still lose. Bengals will end with 8-9. Dolphins, Patriots. Dolphins are currently fighting for currently fighting to be in the playoffs. However, I think they're going to lose. They're going to choke like they always do, and they're going to lose. Jaguars will lose to the Colts, as they always do. There's no real reason for the Colts to win this or to risk their players, but the Jaguars aren't that great anyway. So, Chargers, Raiders. I will give this one to the Raiders, which keeps everyone from that group out of the playoffs. Steelers play the Ravens. They are nowhere near, so they will just sit their players and probably lose. Because it doesn't really matter. 15-2, 14-3. They are 12-4 going into it. They could be fighting for number 3, but number 3 doesn't do a damn thing. Only thing that really matters is number 1. Titans, Texans. Again, actually, I don't see. They're still current. They would probably sit their players as well. Texans are going to win. Putting the Titans 12-5, which is great. Yeah, Titans fans should be happy about this season. No AFC versus NFC, obviously, in the last week, like ever. Buccaneers still in the battle for first. They're going to play their starters. I guarantee this is where Tom Brady is going to get hurt, and Panthers are going to win. Yeah. Cardinals, again, with the Seahawks playing top-notch football, will lose to the Seahawks. Eagles will beat the Cowboys, but it doesn't really matter much, so the Cowboys will be starting their second-string guys. Falcons, Saints. Again, this game doesn't really matter. We're going to rest our guys for the playoffs. So Falcons will pick up that victory. We will go 10-7 this season. New York Giants, Washington Football Team. Neither of these teams really matter that much. They are both out of playoff aspirations. But I will give this victory to the Washington Football Team. Giants 3-14. They will cut Daniel Jones because they are stupid. The Giants should keep Daniel Jones and keep building around him rather than cutting him in 2 years. But whatever. Lions, Packers. The Pack will beat the Lions. However, it doesn't really matter much. They're still going to get number 2. Yeah. Rams will beat the 49ers. Actually, yeah, Rams are still going to play. They're still playing up. Vikings and Bears. Bears will play their team. Yeah. Bears will play their starters. Bears go 9-8 and make it into the playoffs. They don't deserve to be in the playoffs, just like last season. Titans, Ravens. This is going to be a good one. I'm going to give it to the Titans because they're at home. Colts, Steelers. I got to give this one to the Steelers. And Chiefs will also beat the Dolphins. Saints will beat the Cowboys. Buccaneers will beat the Bears. And the Packers will beat the Rams. So, Bears are gone in the first round, just like last season. Chiefs, Steelers. Chiefs. Titans will beat the Bills. Packers will beat the Buccaneers. And honestly, Seahawks coming off of a bye. They're going to be... the Seahawks really have it bad after bye weeks. So I got to give this one to the Saints. Meaning that the Saints are finally going to go back to the championship game where they're going to lose to the Packers. In dramatic fashion, they're just going to get their ass handed to them. Titans, Chiefs. Chiefs will beat the Titans, meaning that the Super Bowl will be Chiefs, Packers. And drum roll. Chiefs will win their second Super Bowl in the past 4 years. Anyway, hopefully you all did enjoy. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I know most people don't like videos that aren't this long, and some people do. For those who do, here you go. Anyway, love you guys. Remember, go check out my merch down. I don't know if I'll leave it in the description, but it is called the Father Apparel. Go check it out. And goodbye.